can shake you for hours when one small memory slip makes your heart ask a question you never wanted. You forget a simple word, a familiar name, why you walked into the room, and suddenly the fear feels bigger than the mistake. Your mind does not stay with the missing word. It runs straight to the darkest thought. What if this is how it starts? You may look calm on the outside, but inside something tightens. The day feels different after that moment. You try to laugh it off. You tell yourself it happens. Still, the worry stays close like a shadow. Maybe it happens in the middle of a sentence. You know what you want to say, but the word will not come. Maybe you open the kitchen cabinet and stop. You stand there staring, trying to remember what brought you there. Maybe you look at your pill organizer and pause too long, not because you never knew, but because your mind feels slow. Maybe you wake up after a rough night of sleep. The room is quiet, but your thoughts already feel thick. Maybe someone in your family notices. They ask gently or not so gently if you are okay. That can sting more than the memory slip itself, because now the fear is no longer only inside you. You may replay that small moment again and again. Not for minutes, for hours, sometimes all day long. You may test yourself in secret. What day is it? Why did I come in here? What was her name again? You may start watching your own mind too closely. Every pause feels important. Every forgotten detail feels loaded. That kind of watching can make everything feel worse. Even ordinary slips start to feel like warning signs. If this fear lives quietly inside you, stay with me for a moment. Take one slow breath before you decide anything. You do not need to solve your whole future right now. You only need a little calm and a little honesty. Sometimes the hardest part is not the forgetting. It is the story your mind tells right after it happens. One missed word becomes proof. One foggy morning becomes a prediction. One repeated story becomes something you cannot stop fearing. But the truth is more gentle than fear. The mind can stumble for many reasons that are not the worst one. Getting older can change how fast you pull up a name. It can take longer to find a word. That does not always mean the memory is gone. Sometimes it simply means the path to it feels slower. Stress can make your thinking feel crowded. When the mind is tense, even easy things can slip away. Poor sleep can do the same. One bad night can leave you foggy, forgetful, and far less confident. Pain can drain attention, so can grief, so can change in routine, so can feeling alone too often. Even too much worrying about memory can hurt memory. Fear fills the room and pushes clear thinking into a corner. That is why a small slip can feel huge. The fear around it makes it louder than it really is. You may know this in one part of your mind. Another part still whispers, yes, but what if? That whisper can follow you everywhere. Into the grocery store, into the bathroom mirror, into bed at night. You may stand in the aisle and forget what you came for. Then you feel heat rise in your chest. You may smile at someone you know well, while their name hides just out of reach for a second. You may miss an appointment time and feel ashamed all afternoon, not because it was major, but because it scared you. You may tell the same story twice and notice the look on someone's face. That look can stay with you. You may stop sharing as much. You may talk less. You may become careful with every sentence. That kind of caution is exhausting. It makes conversation feel like a test instead of a comfort. You may even avoid saying what scares you most, because speaking the fear out loud makes it feel too real. Maybe you have thought, I do not want to burden anyone. I do not want my family watching me differently. Maybe you have thought, if I say this out loud, I might hear something I do not want. That silence can be heavy. It can make you feel alone even when someone is sitting right beside you. So let me say something clearly. Feeling scared does not mean you are failing. It means this matters to you. You care about your mind. You care about your independence. You care about staying yourself. Of course, this feels personal. And some changes really can be normal. Slower recall, occasional missed words, forgetting why you entered a room. especially when you're tired, stressed, distracted, grieving, or carrying too much inside. Those things affect thinking more than many realize. Normal forgetfulness often comes and goes. You may need a moment, but the answer often returns later. You might forget where you set your glasses, then remember after retracing your steps. You might lose a word, then find it. You might feel slow one morning and clear the next. That up and down pattern matters. What worries people more is not just forgetting once, it is when changes keep growing and start affecting daily life. For example, getting lost in places that should feel familiar, or not knowing what common objects are for. Or feeling confused by steps you used to handle well, like paying bills, following a recipe, or keeping appointments. Or having others notice strong changes in your judgment, your personality, or your ability to manage normal routines. That does not mean you should panic at every hard day. It means patterns matter more than one moment. So ask yourself something softly, not harshly. Is this an occasional slip or a change that keeps growing? Ask yourself when the fear gets loudest, after poor sleep, during stress, after a lonely day, during pain. That question is not meant to trap you. It is meant to help you see more clearly. Because when you see patterns, you stop judging yourself from one single moment. That alone can bring relief. And relief matters. A calmer mind often thinks more clearly than a frightened one. One memory slip does not write your whole future. One bad week does not tell the whole story either. You're allowed to be concerned without turning concern into a sentence against yourself. There is a middle ground here. That middle ground is honest, calm attention, not denial, not panic, just noticing what is really happening. Here is one gentle step that helps. Name the fear exactly when it shows up. You might say to yourself, "This scared me because I worry about losing my mind." That simple truth can ease pressure. When fear stays unnamed, it grows in the dark. When you name it, it becomes something you can face. Another helpful step is to track patterns instead of judging one moment. Write down what happened and what else was going on. Was it after a poor night of sleep, during a stressful week, after missing meals, while rushing, after bad news? A small notebook can help more than constant silent testing. It gives you facts instead of fear alone. And facts can be kinder than assumptions. They can show you that some slips happen under the same strain. Sleep deserves real respect here, not perfect sleep, just better protection for it when you can. Try to keep evenings quieter, keep the room dark, let your mind slow before bed instead of chasing worries. If you wake in the night, be gentle with yourself. One rough night can cloud the next morning. That fog can feel frightening, but it is not always a sign of decline. Sometimes it is simple exhaustion. Another useful step is to lower pressure in daily life. Pressure makes memory look worse than it is. You do not have to prove your sharpness every hour. You do not have to rush through every task. Give yourself a little more time to answer. Pause before speaking. Let the word come if it can. If it does not come, that is all right too. You can describe it another way and keep going. Simple supports are not signs of failure. They are signs of wisdom. Notes, calendars, labels, reminders, baskets by the door. Writing things down does not mean you are broken. It means you are working with your life in a smart way. Use one place for keys, one place for glasses, one calendar for appointments. Fewer moving parts can bring calm. Routine can be a friend to memory. Small, steady habits reduce the load on a tired mind. It also helps to keep your mind gently active, not pressured, not pushed, just engaged in a human way. Read a little, talk to someone, do a puzzle if you enjoy it, listen to music you love. Tell a story from long ago, cook a familiar meal, sort photos, write down one memory from your childhood. These things do not have to be impressive. They only need to keep you connected, awake, and present. And please do not carry this fear alone if it keeps growing. Talking to a doctor can be a calm step. Not because you should assume the worst, because getting clear information is often kinder than endless private worry. If changes feel unusual, stronger, or more frequent, say that plainly. Bring examples. Bring your notes if you have them. You are not wasting anyone's time by asking. Your peace matters. Your questions matter. Your daily life matters. Sometimes the answer is reassurance. Sometimes it is help with sleep, stress, mood, hearing, medication, or another treatable issue. Sometimes it means looking more closely. But even then, knowing is usually better than living under constant silent fear. You deserve support, not shame. You deserve clarity, not lonely guessing in the dark. And if you have been blaming yourself for every little slip, I want to say this gently. You are not foolish because a word got stuck. You are not weak because you feel frightened. You are not broken because your mind feels different on some days. You are a human being under strain. You are also not alone in this kind of private fear. Many days, the hardest part is how alone it feels. But right now, you do not have to pretend. You do not have to act unbothered for this moment. You can admit that it hurts, that it embarrasses you, that it scares you more than others may know. There is dignity in that honesty. There is strength in facing fear without letting it define you. Try to remember this the next time a small slip happens. Pause before the panic writes its story. Ask, what else is true right now? Am I tired? Am I stressed? Did this happen once or often? That pause can save you from a long day of needless suffering. It creates room for truth. And truth is often kinder than fear. Slower thinking is not the same as losing yourself. A missing word is not a verdict. A foggy morning is not a final answer. You are still here. Your life is still yours. Your mind may need care, but care is possible. You can build steadier routines. You can ask for help. You can make your days easier and calmer. You can stop punishing yourself for being human. That may be one of the most healing steps of all. If this spoke to something you have been carrying quietly, I hope you feel a little lighter now. I hope you feel less alone in that kitchen, that grocery aisle, that bedroom at 3 a.m. I hope the next small slip does not scare you quite as much, not because fear vanishes, but because understanding grows. And if you need more time, take it. There is no prize for pretending you are not worried. There is only the comfort of meeting yourself with honesty, patience, and the kind of care you would give someone you love. If you want, you can stay close to this channel for more calm talks like this. You can like this video, subscribe, or leave a simple comment telling me what kind of memory slip worries you most. And if words feel hard today, even just saying, "This is me," is enough.